name is Tamara Chambers, and this is Tamara Just Saw. And today I went and saw Lego Movie 2, the second one, or something. The Lego Movie 2, the second part. There we go. I got this nice collectible ticket that I will promptly throw away. Such a waste, things like this. Such a waste. I don't know. Do people like these? Who wants this? Oh, it's the 490th of 500 tickets, though. It's pretty close to the cutoff, and now that I know that, I actually do want it. I watched the first Lego movie for Tamara's Never Seen, and thought it was adorable and a really, really, really quality kids movie, and I was excited about this. I feel like it wasn't hyped as much as I thought it might have been. The first was such a phenomenon and people just went crazy about it. I didn't see it until way later, hence Tamara's Never Seen, and people could not believe that I missed it. Like, sure, yeah. You haven't seen Citizen Kane. You haven't seen the Lego movie? So I was really excited for this, and I think it was incredibly well done. There's a few things that I had issue with, but I mean, I shouldn't even say issue, it's more just sitting there being like, well, I really, really enjoy this. What can I talk about? My Tamara Just Saw episode. I think it was a little long. I keep saying that. My last like 5 episodes, I've been like, it was like a little long. But I think it's a little long comparatively to the last one. And I do think that there weren't as many laugh out loud jokes, but I still did laugh out loud. And I still really enjoyed the comedy, though I think it was a little, not off, a little less zingy than the first. And that's the word I'm sticking with. Zingy. I loved the music. I loved the villain, who we think is the villain at first, turns out to not be the villain. I love how self-aware they are with certain things, mainly Chris Pratt's character, Hank something vest, Danger Vest maybe. And I would say that the biggest laughs and the best comedy for me and my favorite scenes outside of the music are the ones where there's a ton of characters and they're making jokes about all the characters. Like they call out Val Kilmer's lips at one point. With Batman, he's got some great lips. I'm not gonna lie about that. Or like they call out Cheryl Swoops, and they call out, there's like a lot of characters that come out, and I think that's the most exciting part and the most funny part to me. Like younger children probably aren't gonna know who Cheryl Swoops is. She's this famous basketball player, and so they like say it. You're so right, Cheryl Swoops, the famous basketball player. And I think that's really funny. There's also some call outs to older bands and older movies. One that particularly made me laugh out loud in the theater. You are Back to the Futuring. What's Back to the Futuring? It's a movie that older kids get to watch. And then they just completely go back into the story. Really, really, really funny. I loved that. Because I've seen Back to the Future. I don't know if you guys know this, but I've seen that movie, so it's pretty cool. The movie is a direct sequel from the first. In the first, the kid, Bruce Willis is in this, and he's great. Will Ferrell's, where did I get Bruce Willis? Will Ferrell's son finds all of his Legos and starts playing with him, and he's like, well, now that you're allowed to do it, we're gonna have to let your sister do it. And that's where it starts, where the sister and brother are colliding, and it's kind of like a fight between this cool Mad Maxy Lego world and then all of this adorable princess unicorn kitty Lego world. And it's kind of the merging of the two throughout the film. I really liked the message at the end. It's that the younger toys are looking up to the older toys, and it's the younger sister's looking up to the older brother. And I also got that like all of the sisters' Legos for the most part are like the newer generation, and then most of his are the older generation. And I kind of got like a sense of Lego being like, oh yeah, well we're kind of pulling from the older generation too. And I don't know, there's a lot of, it was really sweet. I liked it a lot. If you haven't seen the movie, you won't know what this means, but there's a lot of cats in the gritty part of the Lego world that they're in. And I just wrote down in the middle of the film, Ike is Toxin Toes. 4 words, but what a sentence that I never thought I'd say. Ike is Toxin Toes. So. There's some really good lines in the movie that had me laughing or at least giggling or at least acknowledging that they were funny. A great line is, "You're couching for an ouchin." I love that, and I will start saying it. I'm couching for an ouchin. I like Chris Pratt as a voice actor. I like how I keep saying this, but self-aware they were of him. He voices two characters, if you didn't know. The second character that he voices is like a raptor trainer, and I think the raptors were really funny. At some point they yell out "vest buddies." That's pretty hilarious. They talk about him having chiseled features under previous baby fat. They talk about a lot of the different projects that he's been a part of, and it's pretty well done. It's super self-aware. I will say the two main characters, Emmett, right, and Wildstyle. Emmett? Chris Pratt and Wildstyle, I think were the most boring of them all. I don't know. I didn't feel that way in the first, but I definitely felt that here. That I just wasn't super interested in like Wildstyle goes through this whole thing where she's like, "I'm not actually as tough as I lead on to be, and my hair is actually all blue," and it's like, okay, I don't know. It just didn't do it for me super much. Maybe that's where things got long, where we were just focusing mainly on them, because the side characters all ruled, and they were really funny. And I think that those moments where it was just them didn't really work for me, because I also just don't think they're a great couple. And at the end, it's not really said that they're a couple. They're like, "Do you want to be super special best friends?" And he's like, "Yeah, for life." It's like, okay. Weren't they definitely a couple in the first, and then now they're kind of retreating into super special best friends? Because that's not what I call my significant other. Which is Ike. Just kidding, that's disgusting. Okay. Batman goes off on this whole rant about different Batmans, and our lead, Tiffany Haddish, Tiffany, I don't know. She was phenomenal in this. My definite favorite character. Such a cool animation style too. She keeps transforming because she's a Lego, obviously. And her and Batman have this song together. It's something like, "I'm just not into Gotham City, guys." And it's so cute. He's talking about how like he's way better than Superman, and she's like, "Well, I didn't even like you when you were Christian Bale." And he's like, "Well, what about these Val Kilmer lips and George Clooney looks?" And it's pretty great. Batman is a permanent bachelor. Ruth Bader Ginsburg is in this. President Business doesn't fix anything and then goes golfing. There's some fun things. Maya Rudolph was in it as the mother. I don't remember her being in the first. I think it was just Will Ferrell as the father, if I'm not mistaken. I love Maya Rudolph, so it was really fun to see her. She steps on a Lego. I love that they did that. Because again, I don't think they did that in the first, and that's such a big thing with Legos, is stepping on them. She's like, it's close to childbirth here. It's pretty on par here with childbirth. And I think it's hilarious. I think the last hour is better than the first 50 minutes of the movie for sure. It definitely ramps up. The first bit it drags a bit. There's a lot of Emmett again and Wildstyle, Lucy, right? It's just a fun, funny, well-written movie that could have had some stuff shaved off. Is it as good as the first? I think so. Are there moments of it being a little dull? Sure. It didn't change my life, but I would absolutely recommend it. If not for the music alone, it's really, really well done. There's one song called "This Is Always Gonna Be Stuck in Your Head" or something, and I never do this, but I recorded a little chunk of it because I knew that I was gonna forget it, and I did forget it. This song's gonna get stuck inside this song's gonna get stuck inside your head. It's worth it, I'm glad I recorded it. I think my new system of hair flip ratings is gonna be a little lackadaisical. I think I might give things too high of scores, but I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10 hair flips. And I stand by it. Overall, the kids in my theater were really enjoying it. There weren't a ton, but I mean, I did see it at 11:30 a.m. on a Friday, so it's to be expected. I know that I enjoy everything, but I really enjoyed this movie. Go see it. It's funny, it's fun, it teaches some good lessons, and who the would have thought that it would come from Legos? A giant movie of commercials. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you all next week. Bye! Toxin Toes, where are you?